times, it obviously doesn't matter. Okay, so I have one penny in a little petri dish that I've labeled alcohol. You don't need that. And I am making it heads up. If you want your pennies to be tails up, that does not matter, but I actually would recommend that they're the same. So either both of your pennies are heads up or both of your pennies are tails up. And then I have another petri dish with water, and my penny is heads up. So I have my pennies. So you can look and see which one is alcohol, which one is water. And I'm going to go ahead and do the alcohol first. So I have my little bottle of rubbing alcohol. And the goal of this is to see, you can just set it on the table or whatever.
Okay.
I have them only on this to try to show you guys a little bit clearer. Okay, so I have my eyedropper or whatever, and if you don't have an eyedropper or a, whatever kind, if you can use any dropper, both of these things are fairly safe. Don't stick rubbing alcohol in your eyes, but so maybe don't use like something that's specifically for your eyes. But whatever little dropper you have is fine. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get some rubbing alcohol in here, and I am going to count the number of drops that I can fit on this penny of rubbing alcohol. So I'm just going to count out loud before it falls off the penny. And maybe you can see, maybe you can't, but you'll hear my count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, there it goes. It was the 19th one that took it over. And so now you can maybe see that alcohol has made this little pool around my penny. And now I am going to just use some plain old water. I'm going to use the same dropper. Okay. So I'm using some plain old water, and I'm going to see what it does with my other penny. So I'm going to count out loud again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, need some more, 17, 18, 19, oh, still holding, that was when the other one burst, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, oh, there it goes. Okay. So 25. And I want you to notice now with me, what's the difference in the way the water and the alcohol came off? Yeah, so the water, actually, when you look at it, the water is still all together in one kind of blob. So the water is still all together in this blob. The alcohol, when it's just, it almost looks like this weird slimy sheen. So it all is just in one little layer. Let's see if I can add some more water to the. Sterling, can you mute?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just that was bugging me. So I'm gonna see if I can show you what the water looks like on the penny in these drops without bursting it. Okay. So let me see if I can, whoops, if I can hold it, show you a little. So here's my penny. And my water on top of the penny, it makes this crazy dome. So it's really interesting as to how that works. Okay. So that's a pretty fun one that's easy to do at home. We're going to go ahead and switch gears. So what happens is that ability, that reason that water likes to stick together, it's really cohesive, so it likes to stick together. And it builds this surface tension. So if you have seen water striders, those little bugs that like are on top of the water, raise your hand or like give me an agree sign or something if you know what I'm talking about. Where like those little water striders, you like press them on top of the water. You don't, but they kind of press on top of the water, and you can see how they almost place these little dimples in the water. Let me see if I can find a quick picture for you guys. And so they're just these little bugs that are on top of the water. And they are using the surface tension of the water to walk on water. And that's what we're able to see with the little dome of the water on the penny. Okay, so now we're going to look at that surface tension again. So I have just a jar of water, and this is when you're going to need the baby powder. So here I have my jar of water, and a little bit of baby powder here for myself. And what I'm going to do is shake it on top of the water, just lightly. I don't need to dump baby powder on here. So just lightly, I'm going to shake it on top of the water. Okay, and I'm just shaking it around so that there is a layer. Okay, so what do people notice about my baby powder? From my picture, can anybody tell me what they see? Charles? Yeah, it's a layer of baby powder on the top. So it is not sinking in to the water. That is because that surface tension on top of the water, just like the water strider can stay on top of the water, the baby powder can just stay on top of the water. It does not fall in. But we're going to see what happens when I break that surface tension. So I'm going to break that surface tension. So if you have your soap and your toothpick, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to take your toothpick, or like I said, you can even use a fork or something. And I'm going to grab just a little bit of liquid soap off. And you see how when I pick up the soap, it like drips a little? That's what I'm going to do on top. That's what I'm going to do on top of my baby powder. So I am just going to drip a little bit of, I'm going to drip a drop of soap on top of my baby powder. And then I want you to watch what happens. Okay, and hopefully you will kind of be able to see it. So I'm not putting the toothpick in. I'm just dropping a drop or two. And can you see what's happening in the glass? Okay, let me see if I can show you what the top looks like now. Can you see the top maybe? It's cracking apart, and so on the top it's cracking apart, and then there's baby powder that's falling down into the water now. I'm going to add just a little bit more soap so you can see how it falls. And so what the soap is doing is the soap is breaking that surface tension so that now the baby powder just falls. So hopefully you can kind of see the baby powder falling down the sides. You should at least be able to see that it's all cloudy. Okay. And then can you see that? Okay, so did anybody do either of these at home and could share what they saw, what they noticed, because it might have been a little bit different from mine. That happens a lot because we get impatient and so we want it to like fall. But even from just that tiny little drop of soap, what you can see is it starts to like make these little spider web separations on the top. So even now there's still a little bit of baby powder at the top of mine. And then the baby powder is just kind of filled up everything else. And some of my drops of soap are very, they're still like little individual drops, which I'm using different soap than I normally do at school. So it's kind of interesting to me because it normally doesn't do that. Charles, did you want to add something?